during investigations, we found out that Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, we found out that he had dozens of victims. So I speak for myself when I say I spoke and met with about 12 of his victims. So the first news is that at least those of his victims who couldn't speak out, or there's no how you can make it up to somebody who has had to, suffer that kind of violence from anybody, any form of abuse, especially by a minor, so there's really nothing you can do that will compensate for their pain or what they've been through. So, but I know that on one side, some of them feel as if maybe they got little justice, because we all know Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, should be behind bars for life. But, now the number 2 one is, for the few years that he was incarcerated, there were no new victims, at least from him. We've seen so many other cases. We've seen the ones that really ended like badly, but at least for those years, Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, stayed away. He was not able to harm anyone. So that's another upside. Now, the third upside is that now everyone is aware. So before I continue, this video is for the few sane Nigerians who believe that children need to be protected, loved, provided for. People who believe that rape or assault, sexual assault, is evil. This video is for those who still wish to, how do I say it, protect whether their own children or other people from this kind of horrible experience. If you don't fall under the category of these people I've mentioned, you don't have any business here. Except maybe you just feel, I must see Princess Timbari, Princess Molly. But I know some of you are, how do I say, some of you are internet stalkers. Like, if you don't see somebody, like, you won't be okay. So, but if you don't fall in this category, this video is not for you. Now, the other upside is people are now aware. So, schools, when they see him now, they know to be very careful. If you own a school and you see Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, around your school premises, you know what to do. Hotels, because he's a known serial pedophile and serial rapist. I'm saying this clearly because he also has adult victims. And I'm sure, if you need to know more about that, just watch my old videos. We're not going over that now. So it's not a matter of, because I'm not a child. No, he does it to children and also to adults. There have been women who have come out. So that's another one. Then landlords now know that this is the person that Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, is. So you don't have an excuse. Okay? Now, I saw some things, some people sent me a link, and also people have been calling me, this is what they saw online. Look, this video is for intelligent people. You know me, Moraye Clout. You get any tickle batty. It's people who don't have a purpose, or who, I don't know, who don't have like focus in life, that will say, they want to live on cloud chasing. I'm way past that. Okay? Now you know. So if anything happens after this time, okay, before you tag me and say, Princess, and she said it, justice for. No, now you now know. Now, Baba Ijesha, Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, was sentenced to 16 years total. 5 years on one count, 5 years on another count, 3 years on one count, 3 years on another count. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus another 3 is 16. That's the total number of years that he was sentenced to. But the judge asked that he serves the term concurrently. I'm saying this slowly because for those who have been messaging me, so that you will understand, I don't want messages or whatever to break down. And for those of you, some of you have coconut head. Until you enter the lion's den. So 16 years, those counts, it was 4 count charges, 5, 5, 3, and 3. When the judge says somebody should serve terms concurrently, it means that the terms will run together, concurrently, together. So instead of serving 5 and coming back to serve 5 on, he will run the 10 together. So in total, 16, but you will have to serve 5 because 5 is the highest. For those of us who know mathematics. So 5-year term, another 5-year term, 3 years and 3 years. But he's serving the whole term together. So this is my hand 5. Now, the jail calendar, for those who have been incarcerated before, they will tell you, is 8 months a year. We have 12 months in our calendar, but the jail calendar is 8 months. So if you multiply 8 by 5, how much do you get? You get 40 months. 40 months. That's what you get. Now, if you count, so this is 4 now. 5 years, 5 years, 3 years, 3 years. He's serving it together concurrently. Now we're multiplying this 5 years by 8 months. This 5 by 8, that's 40 months. Now we'll go back to when he started his incarceration, July 14th. So we count together. July 14th, 2022 to 2023, a year, to 2024, 2 years, to 2025, 3 years. That is 3 years. 3 years is 36 months. 3 years in normal calendar is 36 months. Now, you look at the 36 months, subtract it from 40 that he was supposed to serve, you have 4 months left. Okay? That is August, September, October, November. That is he has served his full term for this offense that I reported. He has served his full term. 5 years concurrent, 5 times 8 months, which is the prison calendar, that's 40 months. From July 2022 to July 2025, that's 36 months. The remaining 4 months, August, September, October, November. So those of you remember he was sentenced on the 14th of July. So he has served his full term. Why am I saying this? It's no secret that Yomi Fabiyi tried his best to turn this case on his head, to do sorts. We know he's a serial, rape sympathizer, and he's also been accused severally of some of his colleagues of sexual assault. So Yomi Fabiyi, we know, will try to, I don't know, maybe weave around or make stories. There is no story. There is no need to make any story. Besides, I still don't understand why anyone wants to make story for a rapist or a self-confessed rapist, because I believe the videos are. So if you've not seen the video, you can still go. It's there on my page, Princess Damilola Foundation. You can still watch the video. But at least one of the videos is pinned, so you won't need to scroll too much. That's another thing I want to point out. So for those of you who are saying, he's out, God will punish her, he's finally out. I don't really understand the depth of your understanding. But I want to ask you, how will God punish me for somebody serving his sentence? Do you think God supports child defilement or rape? Do you think there are some countries that if this happens, we all know that is the ultimate penalty? So, there's no need for us to fool ourselves. We know that Olariwaju James Omiyinka, the serial pedophile and serial rapist, has served his full term. We have publications, of course, I already posted on my page a while ago. He appealed several times. So I have the date, I have the documentation, but I really don't need to. But he appealed, and every time his appeal was flung out. And the last one, the appeal court still upheld their judgment that no, go back, serve your term. So there's nothing like, nothing like they granted him, or he wasn't acquitted of anything. And for you simple-minded people that will even think, Shebi was acquitted, I ask you, if you feel in your head that he was acquitted, even though you have the evidence, the court has shown you that he has served his term, why don't you just send your kids to him for the holiday, for Christmas? Just do that. You don't have to take my word for it. Now, there are some, that is cleared, so we don't need to overflog that. Intelligent people don't need to hear things repeatedly. They know it once. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know during some of my videos, I talked about areas where Baba Ijesha lives, because we couldn't put the addresses out there, obviously for security reasons. But I'm going to say some places in Ikorodu, some addresses in Ikorodu, Mafoluku, Sabo, Lagos Island, Oworo. Places everywhere Baba Ijesha has lived, because maximum he stays anywhere, even his own house that he built. When he commits a crime, when he assaults a child, he moves his stuff. He moves out of the house, either in the middle of the night or very early in the morning without informing the landlord or tenants or agents. That's what he does. And I've spoken to his past victims where he has lived in those areas, but I feel it's not in my position to disclose those addresses, because some of you who have encountered him or who your family members have encountered him know those addresses. But if you still feel like, if you know those addresses and you want to put them under these comments, please feel free to do that. But Mafoluku, Ikorodu, a lot of places in Ikorodu, Lagos Island, Sabo, Oworo. So you have been warned. Temi, I have done my best. I have not kept anything, no matter how much it hurts me or hurt my family. I have not hoarded any information. Baba Ijesha, Olariwaju James Omiyinka, is now a convicted. He's not, nobody freed him. No, he served his term for this crime. I keep saying this crime because during the trial, I remember one of the victims who wanted to give testimony, she was threatened. So last minute, even though she came, she couldn't testify in open court. It's not all of us that are strong. And for those who have had family members that have experienced any form of abuse, especially when it's sexual abuse of a minor, you will agree with me that survivors find it tough, especially being dragged through the media and all that. So you can't blame them. So whenever they decide on their own that they've had enough, well, the ball is in their courts. I've done my best. I've done what I can do as a Nigerian, as a concerned mother, as a person, to make sure that we rid our community, our society of this evil, because it is evil. I repeat, it is evil for anyone. I don't care who you are, what position you hold. For you to sexually assault, to sexually abuse anyone, most importantly, a minor. So, on this note, I also want to urge the Lagos State government, the Department of Justice, to please publish his name, because what happens is when people have been convicted, most offenders, their names are published in the sex offenders register. But because he was appealing at that time and we didn't know where the case would go, in fact, it was finally pushed to Supreme Court where a date was given, but he's already served his term and his appeal was thrown out. So I would appeal to the Department of Justice, just as you swiftly post other people who have been convicted of crimes like this, to kindly post his name in the sex offenders register so that people will be aware. So for those of you who are stubborn, who believe you can give him your home, you can rent out your house to him, you can allow him around your kids, good luck to you. Toba Bida, let me see your DM. Pay justice for Lagbaja. I'm doing this video because from the testimonies of his past victims, Olariwaju James Omiyinka doesn't wait. He doesn't slow down. His attack is swift. And I know in the next 1 month, he will do it to someone else. Now, he has done it to adults. He has done it to children. He has done it to tender age children. He has done it to somebody who suffers dwarfism. He has done it to a mentally challenged person, a physically challenged person. And like I said, he has also done it to some of the people registered to act with him. So you have the information. I don't want to hear, oh, I assumed. You are assuming for you at your own detriment. And note, some of the people who are saying, oh, he has been vindicated. Note, some of them don't live in Nigeria. Don't let them push you to your death. Some of those saying, lie, he couldn't have done it. They will never allow their own children near him. It's better. You have the information now. Do with it what you wish. I and my family will continue to try and heal. And I want to say this to all his other victims. To T, to A, I've said I won't mention your names and I won't mention your names, but let me just mention the first letter of your names. To P, to the others, I want you to see this as, let me say, it's not going to remove the pain that he caused you. It's not going to remove it completely, but see it as a kind of soothing balm. And stay safe, guys. Stay safe out there. So once again, we're waiting on Lagos State to publish his name because he's a convicted criminal. He has served his time. So he finished serving his time. but be careful. Olariwaju James Omiyinka, aka Baba Ijesha, he is a serial pedophile and rapist. Be careful. You have been warned. On that note, you guys, I want you to have a lovely weekend. Remember, be watchful, okay?